is just fantastic. Captain's Log, Subdate 21019.1. With the pod safely rehoused, we have placed Bork in a decontamination chamber indefinitely, with a Butterfinger and a condom. Do have yourself some fun there, Ensign. Something rather interesting happened over the weekend. It was so interesting to me that I thought, oh whoa, what with others being impacted in a similar manner to myself, perhaps it's about time we had a little discussion about age-restricted content. But before we get into that, I'm going to be streaming on Twitch tonight. If you're at all interested in some fishing, please consider joining me. It's very casual and jolly good fun. Link to my Twitch in the description down below. So what does it mean to be age-restricted or have your content placed as age-restricted on YouTube mean? For this we go to the, community guidelines of sorts. Age-restricted content. Sometimes content doesn't violate our policies, but it may not be appropriate for viewers under 18. In these cases, we may place an age restriction on the video. This policy applies to videos, video descriptions, custom thumbnails, live streams, and any other YouTube product or feature. There are 5 categories that age restrictions apply to. So for example, you have child safety, where it would be a video containing adults participating in dangerous activities that minors could easily imitate, such as handling explosives or challenges that cause bodily injury, or a video meant for adult audiences that could be confused with family content. The second would be harmful or dangerous activities, including regulated substances and drugs, so fake harmful pranks, or videos that promote a cannabis dispensary. That's a strange one, and I'm sure all of us can agree on that. The next would be nudity and sexually suggestive content, which would include a video that invites sexual activity, such as provocative dancing or fondling. I like that word. Or a video where the subject is in a pose that is intended to sexually arouse the viewer. The first part of that one is semi-relevant to me. We'll get to it momentarily. The next is violent or graphic content, so a video with context showing victims' injuries, or a video focused on violent or gory imagery. The final is vulgar language, that profanity, yo. So any video with heavy profanity in the title, thumbnail, or associated metadata. Do people even use metadata? Everything gets flagged these days, even with TubeBuddy. It's very difficult to use metadata to help oneself. Or a video focused on the use of profanities, such as a compilation of clips taken out of context, because apparently in this one instance, context matters to YouTube. So how does this impact anyone that has a video that's age restricted? Well, for anyone who goes to view it who is under the age of 18, it isn't viewable. Simple as that. Additionally, most of these videos cannot then be viewed on third-party websites. So any website with an embedded player, they'll then be redirected to YouTube and then be forced to sign in and confirm they're over the age of 18. So how is this relevant to me? Well, on Saturday I received this email. The video that was flagged is called How the World Has Responded, and it was the initial response from many nations to coronavirus. Everyone had differing ways of going about it, and the big talking point was India just carried on as if nothing was going on and their infection rate went through the roof, which based on all that we have just gone through, I'm not entirely sure how this one got hit with an age restriction. The video is from March of this year, so it is a tad on the old side. It isn't news I'm going to cover again, so for me it doesn't really matter. It was current and therefore doesn't possess rewatchability, although I'm going to link it down below. I want the views. Gibbs. The second one I got on Sunday. Snatch Adams, extreme burlesque performer. Now I took great offence at the idea of using burlesque with Snatch Adams. The reason why is it wasn't a burlesque performance. It was a glorified art show where she would get naked, stick a pipe up her bottom, and yes, people would smoke it. That was it. That was the trick. That's not burlesque. The only tangible thing about it was the fact that she was tied up. But I'll be honest, at that point it becomes less burlesque and more BDSM. It's possible because of the thumbnail that was what got flagged. and the subject matter does fall within the imagery aspects, so I can concede defeat on this one. But because it happened almost exactly 24 hours later, I was a tad interested to see if it would happen for a third day in a row. At time of recording, it has not. I guess that's a win? Maybe? Interesting to note though, when this happened to me, I was alerted by one of my server mods of others that had been impacted by this, and I thought we could quickly go through each of them just to show that this is utter nonsense, and although there is a trend, it's a rather weird one. The first would be Willie Mac Show, who made a video on Moist Critical, but it wasn't a negative video on Moist Critical. In fact, it was praise, because the community he's a part of, commentary, he's one of those few creators that's still able to do really well within it and be entertaining. The video in question was made in December of 2019, so it getting flagged recently, on October 17th, is a tad peculiar. The next would be Sam Holloway, who as a YouTuber uploads content centering around F1 racing games. I watched a few of his videos. I actually love Formula 1, so I found it quite interesting. I'm going to link, by the way, everyone who I'm talking about in the description down below and as a pinned comment. Please consider subscribing to all of them, because most of them are really small channels, and they deserve a chance. Sam got hit for something that wasn't even public. Okay, that's a tad strange. The next creator is Gabby El Nuevo, who uploads predominantly Zelda-related gameplay, who, with a video from 4 years ago that is unlisted, called Mega, it got flagged and age-restricted. To be honest, I'm not entirely sure how it managed to get flagged, but if it's done by somebody, apparently, which these emails all indicate, how is it done with an unlisted or a privated video? Interesting. Very interesting. Next would be the Orthicon Ghost. His content centers around a news show with a ridiculous and hilarious comb-over from both sides of his head. He does a lot of news commentary. He speaks very bluntly with certain words that many of us would not say in our videos. But it is quite funny. The video in question that got flagged beyond the news number 26 is from April 2020. Which is not long after my How the World Has Responded video, which was released on April the 6th, 2020. Oh, and just to add this to the list, my video on Snatch Adams was from August of 2019, so it was quite an old video. In the majority of cases where videos have been flagged and age-restricted, those videos were not worthy of being flagged, in the sense of what we see from the rules of what age-restricted content should be, to what we actually get from the content creator. An argument can be made based on some of the language used by the Orthicon Ghost, sure, but at the same time, it wasn't overly vulgar, so I would tend to disagree. Gameplay of Zelda and Formula 1? No. Someone heaping praise on another creator? No. But the one prevailing quality in all of this is that in all instances, a creator is providing a form of commentary. In the Formula 1, not so much, so perhaps Sam Holloway gets a pass. But with myself, Willie Mac, Orthicon Ghost, there is a prevailing theme of commentary channel. If we go by what YouTube presents within its own rules, I think I've debunked a fair bit of that. But this is where the opinion part comes in. I personally don't think any content should be age-restricted, because there are already pre-existing systems that exist solely to protect young people from seeing this content, and it being flagged, even though in many of those cases it was not flagged, can just come off as a petty way of somebody else arbitrarily flagging videos cause. Context apparently matters, remember everyone, even though it really doesn't. There was one other creator called Jose Olalde. I do apologise for mispronouncing your name if I have done so, but I can already tell because of the title containing profanity and based on YouTube's own rules, yeah, that one, yeah, no. Because of the number of creators that have been hit, big or small, many are going to start pointing in the direction of it's another way of proving YouTube is punishing commentary channels by censoring them. Age restriction while claiming to only prevent younger people from seeing it, is another nail in that video and potentially that channel's coffin, in the sense that you are now not promoting their content. People have enough issues getting monetized at the moment. Add to that this, and it's a tad weird, especially because a lot of it, all of it, is older content. In commentary worlds, unless you're making content cop or Mad Lads, something that has rewatchability, a lot of it is current events, and therefore those videos being flagged are just redundant. With what we've discussed today, I'd love to know what you think. Please do let me know in the comments down below if I don't see you on Twitch for some fishing. I hope you'll have a fantastic day, and thank you all for listening.